So I'm making my squash this morning, as that's when I usually cook up my squashes, early in the morning in the winter, and I just do it every day. Now you can put out, like, take out the seeds and all that while watching TV, just sitting the night before, or if you watch TV in the morning, whatever, and it doesn't even feel like you take any time doing it. So you wouldn't be doing anything else when you're watching TV probably, so whatever, why not do things like take the seeds out of squash, or like earlier in the fall I did things like making sauerkraut or kimchi while doing that. So anyway, now usually I just bake the squash, but sometimes I'll give it a spice rub. So you can use whatever different kinds of spices you want depending on what you're going to end up making the squash for. So I'm making this squash, which is this kind of squash, which makes a perfect bowl. You cut it in half. Take the seeds out. For oatmeal, I've been soaking, it's spelt flakes with kamut in coconut milk mixed with water, and that'll continue to soak. And then like, it's just a raw oatmeal. You can use whatever oatmeal you want. I learned how to do this just by, I was reading a bunch of raw vegan recipe books, and then I read the Campfire Foodie cookbook too, and so I guess this is maybe this is a common thing for campers to do, just eat raw oatmeal. I don't know, but it is now common for me to do, because why not? I mean, you can soak your oatmeal just in the fridge in a container overnight, and then you have oatmeal, and you don't even have to work at it. It's great. So and if you want to warm it up in the squash, you could bake this for almost all the time and then put the oatmeal in and sprinkle a little bit of cinnamon or whatever you want. Like, I'm going to be putting toasted coconut on top of the oatmeal when we're done cooking the oatmeal, or cooking the squash, whatever, when I'm ready to serve it. And that should be pretty good. So now I find if you have a bag of spice in your pantry that you have forgotten to label or whatever, you can totally do this with that. Just and then you know what it is. Once you eat it, sometimes you smell it and you're like, oh, I'm not sure. Well, you'll be sure once you cook it in the squash and eat the squash. So, but in this case, I'm using nutmeg and cinnamon for James's and my squash, and then we're making this pretty little acorn squash. It's turned orange, but for our supper. So that'll be a little bit different. And I'm making a whole bunch of the little mini pumpkins, and I'm also giving them a cinnamon rub, because the pups can eat cinnamon too. It's good for them. So and they're gonna have some oatmeal with us this morning also.